Okay.
That's valid.
So, hashtag ComeBlockHome, also known as hashtag MC2012 reunion. Something resembling what has been described is happening, and in fact will be starting, I think, more or less tomorrow. My first bit in it will probably be like Monday with a bonus stream, but yeah, we've organized a server, we've put together a mod pack. It is, as many people probably guessed, the mod pack that my patrons have been like volunteering to test recently.
Yeah.
So we've got a server going, we've got a mod pack running on 1.16.5, which includes things like Create and various oddities 1.16. The lineup is not as people have been hoping and praying, but we're leaving the doors open for anyone else that wants to join us. We are currently going with the name of ComeBlockHome. We've contemplated using MC 2012 Reunion, but we didn't necessarily want it to be nailed down to that like year. So if anybody else wanted to take part, we didn't want to necessarily have like, did you start making Minecraft in 2012? That kind of thing. And we also contemplated underyogs, but we came to the realization that whilst most of us underyogs think of the term fairly fondly as like a group thing of underdogs kind of thing, we didn't really want to go with that term on the sheer basis that it ties us to the Yogscast. And whilst we could give two tuppence about the Yogscast coming after us for using their brand, quote unquote, we don't really want to be associated with the Yogscast in any tangential fashion, because they're awful and continue to be in many ways. There are some good people among that crew that I would love to work with again, but for the organization in and of itself is hideous. So we didn't really want to necessarily tie ourselves to that inextricably, so we're going with ComeBlockHome instead. So let me see, the lineup, as I say, is not everybody that was previously considered to be an underdog. Fair. A lot of them have moved on from doing Minecraft content, a lot of them have moved on from doing, like, YouTube. And a fair few we did contact, just decided personally, like, politely decline. So for instance, we did contact Rivian, we've tried to contact Zoe and Fiona, we've tried to, I have contacted Dragon, all sorts. Like, we even went to Chaosville folks, quite happily. The lineup as it currently stands, is me, Dave, Strife, Tev, and LD Shadow Lady.
Nice.
Whom folks might remember from way back in the Chaosville days, but she is still very active on Twitch and whatnot at the same name. So yeah, contrary to the speculations of some, this has not been like, we're going to engineer like a hype movement to convince people to do stuff. We have actually been networking whilst that's also been going on, because we saw that and we're like, maybe there's something to this. So just like,
well, I'm gonna enjoy every single bit of it at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was also a matter of, we could try and like actually organize people to get onto this server, but all of us are content creators by trade, so if we don't have any benefit from this, then pretty much none of us can do it, because we need to be working on money, because Lord knows money in content creation ain't massive. So having that knowledge that there was that sort of blanket, that there was this like degree of hype behind it, that people wanted to see this content, makes it easier for people to sign on and say, yeah, sure, totally, we can do that, and it'll be worth our time, that kind of thing. So it's like these two things were not like inextricably linked, suffice it to say. This wasn't like some kind of extortion racket.
Next week is ComeBlockHome's art week.
It is indeed. I've seen posts about that, but and I should stress, virtually nobody in ComeBlockHome is actually involved in the whole like ComeBlockHome fandom section of things. Tev was heavily involved in getting the movement started, and for that she gets to appear on the server, but she's fairly hands-off at the moment, at the very least. So just like, I want to be very clear, the fandom movement is separate from the actual server. Like, that seems like, yeah, I feel like I need to make that absolutely clear.
Once the episodes start rolling, I foresee artwork coming out.
I mean, there's been artwork already.
I know, but
yeah,
it's part of why we're doing it, it's because people want to see it.
I look forward to this.
But yeah,
It
so
would be good.
I will probably have a little quick bonus stream on Monday, talking about the server and roaming around it and whatnot. Dave, I think, plans to do some videos. I don't 100% know what Strife's plan is. I imagine Ted's more or less in the same pen there. Lizzie, I believe, doesn't plan to, like, stream or make videos on the server for much, or at least that's what she's told me. I don't know if that'll change. We're not mandating how people produce content on the server, just this is mostly a nostalgia trip. So people are just free to do what they like, however they like. I
would like to
guess.
add on to the whole fandom being separate from you guys thing. That is mostly the fandom stuff is mostly run by me and another person.
Huh. You and Wiver, I'm guessing?
So hello, yeah.
My only real massive hand in, like, getting the hype going was just like, this would be really cool. I don't know how we'd organize it, but it'd be cool.
I mean, you did make the original tweet
Yes.
that Wither then put on Tumblr.
The original tweet that expressly said that I have no idea how we would organize it and that nothing was in motion.
And then
But then people wanted to see about it, so...
And then you got the message up saying, I still have a server.
Yeah, like, it was like a week between that tweet and, like, the whole hype train starting and me being like, I should probably organize a group DM. Like, we should maybe discuss this on the sheer basis of maybe it's worth doing. And now we actually have, like, a server and a Discord server where we organize everything and we've got everything running and we've begun getting everything set up. And again, we have been talking to people, like, behind the scenes. Tev's initial info post, we have come to realize, was maybe not worded the best way.
Yeah.
A few people have rightfully pointed out, I should state, that it does sort of read like we're encouraging people to harass others, and that is absolutely not the case. But we have definitely been talking to people, like, behind the shadows and behind the curtains and whatnot, to, like, see if anybody's up for it and how they'd like to be up for it, that sort of thing. It was, like, very much a matter of, we saw those messages and we were like, we know this isn't true, but we can't really prove it to be not true without revealing private communications.
F.
Or that we're actively, like, sorting, or that we're trying to organize this, which are both things that we didn't want to do too early, essentially. But, yeah, we have been talking to other creators, and we have been inviting people and finding out what people want and that sort of thing, and it has been going on entirely separate of the fandom. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm being very firm about, like, distinguishing the two, because otherwise it looks like extortion.
Fandom just does its own thing.
Yeah.
They generally do, anyway.
Yeah, and I should also note that, like, Dusty and Wiver run the community Discord. Dusty and Wiver are not going to be on the server. Pretty much nobody.
I don't run the Discord. That's Tevin Wither.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of there.
Yeah, pretty much no one involved in the fandom is going to be on the server. It's not like a quid pro quo kind of situation. Tev is only in there because she's Strife's girlfriend and also helped to start the whole thing up and frequently works with him in content, yada yada yada. So it just made sense, really. But it's not like you helped start up this whole hype train that might make us YouTube millions or whatever, so you get to be on the server, that sort of thing. Lord, no. So, look out for that from me on Monday, and from everybody else as and when they desire. But it's gonna be fun. I will be playing a fey creature this time around. An archfey, in fact.
Oh,
Hell
no.
yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess on the nature of that, I should maybe introduce myself, because there might be a few newbies in, like, the chat and watching this presumably later clipped onto YouTube or whatever. Hi, I'm Lying Bedmon, my pronouns are he, him. I am gender non-conforming, which is part of why I look so strange. I have been doing, I've been doing Minecraft content since 2010, 2011? I don't even know anymore. And I am
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I am most well known for my series Witch in the Woods. It has a bunch of follow-ups, including Yokai Temple, which is, you know, I recommend checking out. It crosses over in Witch as well as Night of Fangs, and I've also done even some short special series, namely The Return as well as The Haunting, which recently wrapped up after, like, 3 years. And in
That's why I'm laughing,
in
I'm
those,
sorry.
I voice every single character, so that's fun. But those are made cinematically, so they look a bit more spruced up than most YouTube videos and such. I was a member of Chaosville, which was led by Dave Chaos back in the day, and that crossed paths with the Yogscast, and then sort of got submerged into it. I wasn't a part of Chaosville when that happened. But nonetheless, I ended up by sheer accident actually doing more of the Yogscast than I think any member of Chaosville. Which is
Yeah,
amusing.
didn't they hire you to make mods so that they could wrap up the aliens?
Ish.
Series?
I was like a mod advisor-ish, like for parts of their Yogscast Complete Back series. Meanwhile, Kieran Dave was pretty much running all of their servers for the longest time. And then I did some build work for Kim and Duncan on Flux Buddies, and also helped partake during like the Night of Fangs run for when the vampires attack in Flux Buddies 4. And for Kim's To Infinity series, I did in fact make I remade, I guess would be the correct phrase, the alien mod that they were using because the one that they had just would not work properly. I did that one whilst I was moving house, so that was entertaining. Okay, so for the purposes of people watching this on YouTube or whatever, I stream live at twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon, because my username lying is short for lying in bedmon, and my videos are over at youtube.com/remembercomic, because that's how I got started, was just making supplementary content for my webcomic way back when. And everything I do is powered by wonderful people like these four over here, over at
Hello there.
patreon.com/lying. Where you can get access to our patron server and get to take part in the patron game day and all sorts. We do have a Discord. You will find it in the chat, frequently linked by Moobot. Yeah, that's who I am. I'm incredibly gay, extremely queer, and all manner of probably trans, but not saying as much so far.